Hey everyone, so today I kind of wanted to talk about Incineroar's placement within the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate roster, and kind of why I think the decision to add him in over other Pokemon was a bit of a mistake on the side of the Smash team. So, to start things out, before I really go into specifics, I think it is important to kind of lay out potential Pokemon for Smash Ultimate, of course, before we knew Incineroar was a thing. So when it comes to Pokemon, obviously he was going to get a new character. It's gotten a new one every single game. There's no reason to expect it wouldn't. Sun and Moon was the most recent game, so obviously Sun and Moon was going to get a rep. So the question was, who is it? So for the next little bit, I'm kind of going to explain what characters it could have been. So starting off with starters. Now, if you've really paid attention to the starters and especially the popularity, you could tell Incineroar is not the most popular starter. Decidueye is. Now, Incineroar has been gaining traction over Decidueye, but Decidueye has always been the most popular starter. So if you really wanted a starter, Decidueye would have been your choice. He's also more unique than Incineroar, for reasons I'll get to later. But yeah, if you wanted a starter, you should have just gone with Decidueye. If you wanted to go with a popular pick, most popular Pokemon of Gen 7, Mimikyu, easy. If you wanted a popular unique pick, go with Mimikyu. If you want a lore important pick, one that represents the kind of lore of the series, want like a good legend, do Tapu Koko. He has probably the most significant role that any legend plays in the entire series, or at least in terms of the context of the narrative of the game. Tapu Koko plays a massive role. Granted, I would say Cosmog plays more of one, but like you can't turn Cosmog into a fighter. Also, Tapu Koko is exceptionally popular anyway, so Tapu Koko would have fit like a glove. And then one other choice. So back when Brawl was coming out, they added in Lucario, and there ended up, because of Lucario's breakout popularity, because of Smash Brothers and other things, Game Freak would go on to try to replicate that success. Essentially, a Pokemon that isn't a starter but is as popular as one. So for Black and White, their attempt was Zoroark. Did it work? Kind of. And then for Gen 7, if you remember the pre-Sun and Moon era, like early to mid 2016, if you were keeping a close eye on the advertising, you could tell Rockruff was pretty much a fourth starter. Lycanroc was designed to be the Lucario of Sun and Moon. Granted, it didn't pan out that way. Lycanroc isn't nearly that popular. I would hardly even compare Lycanroc to Lucario, but that was clearly what Lycanroc was intended to be. It was intended to capture the lightning again. So if you want a Smash pick, that should have been the obvious choice, is Lycanroc. And even still, who's the main Pokemon in the anime? Ash's Lycanroc. Really, if you're looking at picks for new Pokemon for Smash Ultimate, your choices were between four: Decidueye, Tapu Koko, Mimikyu, and Lycanroc. So that's a pretty good four, and that's a very common, a very likely four. So let me just quickly kind of say reasons why some of them might not have been chosen. Mimikyu, it was the most popular, but I don't think it was, they knew it was going to be the most popular. So the roster for Smash Ultimate was picked in mid 2015, I believe, mid to late 2015. So they probably didn't know about Mimikyu's popularity, so that one gets a pass. When it comes to Decidueye, Decidueye was also in Pokken, and so I would find it hard to believe that when Sakurai was picking, their Pokemon companies didn't say, hey, no Decidueye because we're having him in Pokken. So makes sense for Decidueye to be off the table, but that also brings the question, why wasn't it Lycanroc or Tapu Koko? I already said both of them deserve a slot. and I would even say a slot over Incineroar. So if we're looking at Incineroar, what we have is the second most popular starter, along with a not very unique moveset, a moveset that's already been done. Oh wow, a heavyweight fire type. Never seen that before, isn't that right, Charizard? Or a dark type starter. How unique, Greninja. Like, this Incineroar is absolutely nothing unique and is nothing we've never seen before. Lycanroc would have been the first Earthbender in Smash Brothers. Right? Like, we've never had something like that before. And we have, what, 2 other quadrupeds? So we would have had a rushdown Earthbending quadruped. That's super unique. Look at Tapu Koko. Literally just look at his design. He would be unique by default just because of the way he would have to atomically move. Or not atomically, anatomically, whatever. My point is, why was Incineroar picked over Tapu Koko, over Lycanroc? 2 Pokemon that should have had a much better chance, especially Lycanroc. So, the Pokemon Company presumably wanted Lycanroc to be their next big star, and they probably didn't know it wouldn't be before the game came out, which was when the Smash character was picked. So why didn't the Pokemon Company say, hey, Sora Limited, Bandai Namco, pick Lycanroc as your Pokemon. We want Lycanroc. Why was Incineroar the pick? Why did they look at Lycanroc, this very unique character, and then look at Incineroar, a grappler? We already have one with Donkey Kong. A heavy-hitting fire-based Pokemon character. We already have Charizard. They're exceptionally similar. Like, what does Incineroar do unique that Lycanroc couldn't have done more unique? Why? How is Incineroar important in a way that Lycanroc isn't? There's no... On the surface, there really is no good reason why they even picked Incineroar over Lycanroc. So, ever since Incineroar's announcement, November 1st, which was over a month ago, that's a question that's been mulling around in my head. Like, why? Why was this character picked? And, if I'm being honest, I kind of don't really have an answer. It seems to be the illogical choice. It's the type of thing where it's a surprise, and it's an unexpected pick, but not in like a cool, unique way, but in a way where you just look at it and say, this character shouldn't really have been here at all, especially when you compare it to Lycanroc, when you compare it to the Pokemon competition. Incineroar is outclassed by multiple Pokemon in his own generation for a spot in Smash, and he got it instead. Why? I know this video hasn't been super productive in terms of actually answering the question. I'm more just trying to get it out there. Like, if you take a step back and look at the situation, why Incineroar? Just a quick aside real fast. I really like Incineroar. Incineroar is up there for my favorite starters ever, and might even be my favorite Alolan Pokemon. So this isn't supposed to be slander on Incineroar or anything. This is just a genuine bafflement as to why this character was picked at all. I do have one small answer, but I don't particularly think it's a good one, and I'm afraid that it might be right. That Incineroar was picked because Sakurai and the Smash team looked at him and said, oh, that has a cool design, that has a fun personality, it's a wrestler, there you go. You know, like, instead of thinking, what's the pathos, what's the relevance, what's the importance, what's the uniqueness, they looked at it and said, oh, that's a wrestler, that'll fit, put him in. Or, oh, I think he looks kind of cool, throw him in. I really hope that's not the case, but I honestly, genuinely can't think of another answer. Like, he's not the most popular starter, he's not the most popular Pokemon, he's not the most relevant Pokemon. Incineroar doesn't have a leg up on anybody. I mean, he does have a leg up on, like, I don't know, Vikavolt, but just in general, like, if you look at Sinnoh, Lucario was the pick for Brawl when it comes to a Generation 4 Diamond and Pearl pick. Because, of course, who else would it have been? If you're looking at Smash picks, Lucario would have been number 1. Look at Smash 3DS, Smash Wii U. Greninja was number 1. Who else would it have been? You look at Smash Ultimate, Incineroar is not number 1. Lycanroc is number 1. Why Incineroar? And I know I proposed the idea that it was just Sakurai and the Slash team being like, oh, that's neat. Because I genuinely don't have a better answer. So, please, I really want to hear what you guys have to say. Please tell me in the comments, why do you think Incineroar was picked over Lycanroc, over Tapu Koko, over Decidueye, over Mimikyu? Why do you think he was picked? Why was Incineroar the choice for Smash? Hopefully this video will kind of start that discussion over the whole Smash community. I haven't seen a ton of like bafflement towards that, but I know it certainly exists in some corners, and I think bringing it up for a character that for all intents and purposes kind of seems like one of the lesser hyped new characters, I think it could be very interesting. And I really want to hear what everyone has to say, so please definitely comment below what you think. But yeah, that's about all I've got. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe, and have a nice day. Bye bye.